It's an early morning here at the shop, and today we're kicking off our day with our boys from Auto Glass Masters from Temecula, California. We're getting this car ready to go off to roll cage at our boy KL Fabs up in Escondido, California, but first, the windshield has to get taken out. And it's gonna stay out until the car's basically gone through paint, roll cage, all that stuff, and then Auto Glass Masters is actually gonna come back down and put a fresh piece of glass in here for us at that point in time. So we're gonna go ahead and pop this out today. So I'm gonna let the Masters do their thing. All right, well, they made quick work of that. I stepped in the office for 2 seconds and we no longer have any glass in the car. Unfortunately, the glass was a casualty of the process, but that's a 50-50 and I knew that was part of the risk going in. So it was in there pretty tight, and it turns out this was actually the factory glass. So it had been in there for 20 years. It's time for a change. We'll go with a fresh new piece of glass when we put her back together. It's gonna be so much easier now to tuck the roll cage in now that we can actually have access to all this area and also welding of on top of the bars and everything up here. So another huge shout out to my boys at Auto Glass Masters in Temecula. You guys are always down to help us out, and it's gonna be more fun putting the new piece of glass in once all the cage is in and the car's all painted. It's gonna look sharp.
What's going on, guys? Here we are with a hello.
Girls, watch this channel too.
What's going on, guys and ladies, or boys and girls, or men and women, or you know, Mick just received the Body Club seat rails for the Freak, and he is mocking them off to do a test fit on it. Now this car is going tomorrow to KO Fab, so
start the roll cage, which should take an area too. We got this little dusty girl that we're gonna put on the rails there and mount it in here. That way we can center up our pedal set and also make sure we have room for roll cage bars. And then Ricky's gonna tackle something that a lot of you guys have made comments about in the comment section. We gotta figure out how we're gonna keep these bearings in place. Probably hard to see on camera, but there is already play in the bearing.
there is some play in there, yeah.
Well, when I did my wagon, rear-wheel drive wagon conversion, I actually just used the front-wheel drive axles, lopped off the axle shaft itself, and then just bolted it all back in so that it holds it all together and sandwiches it. And that's the same thing we're gonna do here. For the time being, we're gonna lop up our old front-wheel drive axles, stuff them in there, and we should have no problems.
And I'll show them that right now. So this was the plan. Big Jeff and my boy Mick were they already began that project long time ago. So they try to cut it right here, right where the ABS teeth were at. Then we're trying to lop it here and then use this portion until we can get the CRV of the Honda Elements parts. That turned it out to be a lot harder than what it looks. This is only temporarily until we get the part from the CRV of the Element. I'm just gonna cut it right here, and I'm just gonna weld a plate in the back of it that way none of those bearings and stuff fly out. Alright guys, I'm ready to go. I have my Lincoln Electric apron. Not apron, what is this called? Is it an apron?
Apron butt.
I'm not an apron type of guy though, but I'm tired of putting holes in my clothes from grinding and welding and stuff, so I'm wearing this stuff. This is gonna keep me protected. And right now, since Mickey's blind and he cut this thing on cricket, I'm gonna be grinding this down completely flat, that way we can lay this thing down, make a circle, cut it off, weld it all the way around, and it'll be ready to go in the car. Alright guys, so here you have it. We have both plates made for the axles, and I'm gonna clean this metal, clean all the coating out of it so it can weld properly. Then I'll clean the edging of all this and take as much grease as I can off, and then I'm just gonna MIG weld it. there you have it, guys. One done, one more to go.
All right, well, Ricky's been over here working hard, making these axle snouts for us. I went ahead and threw a coat of paint on the one that he finished up already and put it in. And it looks like this. A little difficult to see in here, but essentially, yeah, wow, you can't see it at all. So that's a good thing. Basically, he welded it up. I put a coat of black paint on it, and out of sight, out of mind. So good solution. This car will now be able to roll to the roll cage shop at KL Fab and not have to worry about the bearings unseating themselves. So. All right, so brackets are on this donor seat here, and I've left everything loose so that we can just sort of slap it in, and then we'll tighten all the bolts up once it's in there. Man, so the reason I like these Buddy Club rails are because they allow the seat to sit down in between the rail, which lets you get a much lower seating position. One thing I'm seeing already is that we're way too wide on the feet here.
Right.
So we're about 3 inches too wide on this seat.
Okay.
So the only thing I can think to do is maybe flip these brackets around.
Right.
And the seat's gonna have to move up about 1/2 inch or so in order to clear these.
Well, it looks like each bracket's about 1.5 inches, to be honest, if you flip them the other way.
Yeah, or maybe if I loosen these up, I can squish them in a little bit further, but come back and see me in a few minutes. I'll have this figured out.
A few minutes later.
We're gonna tackle getting the sound deadening out of this car today, and an old school trick that I learned a long time ago was to use dry ice. This is 20 pounds of dry ice here, and basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna vacuum the car out real good first, or good enough, because it just gets messy if you don't. But we're gonna spread the dry ice out, which is already crushed up. Sometimes you can buy it in bricks, and you'll have to hit it with a hammer and break it. In our case, Airgas already has it crushed, so that's good. The less hitting the floor pan with a hammer, the better in my eyes, because I don't want to dent the floor pan. So get everything out of the car. I'm going to spread this out on the passenger side and get it started. And then I'll pull the driver's seat out, and we'll be able just to chip this up, hopefully. The idea is to freeze the tar, and then you can take it up in big chunks instead of scraping it with a scraper. That's cool. Smoke. Try to keep it on the tar itself. Doesn't hurt to get the floor pan around the tar cooled too, but you want to make sure you get a nice evenly spread. And these are sort of the hard parts to get up here, but hopefully they'll get cold enough and we can chip that off all in one deal. Wow, I don't know if 20 pounds is enough. It lasts a while, so you can maybe do one side and move some of the ice to the other side if you come up short. We aren't going to have to do the back, just some very small areas, so I didn't account for that when buying the ice, so I knew cutting all that material out.
This is such a messy job. I did this in my Prelude.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never had it be that messy.
So I did it with dry ice, but there's certain spots that I missed and I had to do it without. So I started peeling it, but it was old and like kind of crusty. So it started coming off, but then it left a lot of tar. And then you use like, I think acetone, and it comes right up, yeah.
Oh, yeah, to get like
The black stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, acetone or brake parts cleaner works for that. All right, so now I will pull the driver's seat.
How long do you let this sit?
Just a few minutes. It should take 5 or 10 minutes to sort of get it a little frozen, and then the longer you leave it, I think the better. But you can start sort of chipping away. I really advise not using a heavy hammer to do this. Use a flathead screwdriver or something that you can kind of, you hear that?
Oh, it's cracking.
It's already cracking. Yeah. So that's a good sign. We've only been here for a couple minutes. hopefully. Some of it's not participating. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's a good chunk right there.
That's what we
This
want.
reminds me of like gold member. The gold.
Ooh, hello. What do we hear? That's a keeper.
So transfer this over to the other side. Some spots here, like where there's a plug in the chassis and stuff, it becomes really difficult to get out.
You can hear it like starting to crack.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, it broke. It was bigger. All right, so about 3/4 of the way through the front area of the car, I did knock out the side panel there. That came out in one piece. Actually, one piece plus a couple little ones. And I'm gonna go ahead, we're cutting that out, so I'm not gonna worry about that too much, but I'm gonna go hit the corners with whatever ice I have left. Because we're gonna be cutting most of that out for our fuel-safe fuel cell that's on its way here. And then that should be it. I don't think I really need to focus on anything else. We've removed the majority of it. And I should say that we are putting sound deadening back in. This old dried up crap is probably not doing anybody any good anymore. So we'll get the floor pans. These floor pans have been pushed down a little bit over the years. So we're gonna go ahead and straighten those up. This one's been pushed up and that one's been pushed down. So I'm not sure how that happened, but I like to get them nice and flat with the hammer and dolly, and then we'll go ahead and re-sound deaden everything. All right, so one PayPal and 1 day later, I was able to get the axles in hand from FCS Race. FCS Race are the guys that built the rear end that's in this car that's allowing us to make this rear wheel drive utilizing their all-wheel drive componentry, just the rear portions of it. Now that we have these axles, we'll toss them in. That's gonna help keep our wheel bearings in place while this car goes off to roll cage. Then we also got our drive shaft in, which is a brand new drive shaft for a Honda Element or a Honda CRV. I ordered the whole thing because we need the rear yoke and we also need this length to make our new drive shaft. So we will mate this drive shaft to the front of an S2000 drive shaft, and that'll allow this to bolt right in.
The next day.
All right, well, I just pulled up to KL Fab. My EK has been sent off to his shop to get the roll cage done because we don't have a tubing bender and some of the specialty tools that we need to do a roll cage in-house. So Kyle has graciously taken the car and has gotten started on the cage, and I'm gonna take you guys inside in a second and show you the progress that's been made on that. I haven't seen anything. He's been hiding it from me. I've seen one basically teaser image, so I kind of know how far along he is. I think he may be a little further along than even I know. So anyway, I wanted to take a quick second before I go in and say thank you to you guys. I don't do this enough. It's definitely something that I think is perceived, but it's important for me to tell you guys how much your support means to myself and the throtl team, all the guys. So we're all over the place. We've got so many projects going on currently. I think that we're so wrapped up in the world that we're living in the world that we're showing to you guys that oftentimes we need to slow down and actually thank everyone for the support that you're giving us on our channel. It's growing so fast. Furthermore, the amount of support that you guys are showing our e-commerce site, which is where we sell car parts for your car, and also our merchandise, is absolutely booming right now, and we only have you guys to thank for that. We're making content, you guys are watching it, and you guys are looking to us to purchase your car parts. This is the dream that we've all wanted for the last 5 years of our lives, and it's finally coming to fruition. So I definitely want to take another second and thank you guys also for that, beyond just watching our YouTube content. We are having a blast putting this content together for you guys. We absolutely love all the comments in the comment section. We do read those and we do respond to those. So I want to encourage all of you as you join us on this YouTube ride. If you don't already subscribe to our channel, please subscribe. We're putting out some very cool content. We've got a couple of projects going on, actually a number of projects going on concurrently at the moment. We've got our electric 350Z project. We've got the EK project, the rear wheel drive conversion that's being worked on currently. And we also have the Porsche just getting finished up. We also have the Subaru giveaway. So if you guys haven't already gotten your entries in for that, head on over to throtl.com get your purchases in. You can either purchase car parts, you can purchase merchandise, or you can sign up as a VIP member in order to win that Subaru STI. It's going to be a fantastic car when it's done. All the parts are top notch, and all the modifications are really cool. So you guys are going to love that one. And now it's time to head inside Kyle's shop and let's see what's going on with the Honda Civic.